Yo, it's your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, back at you with a new video. Today is Tuesday, February 13th, 2024, with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can. Cash App $, ORION or the YouTube Super Chat right here. We got NHL hockey this Tuesday afternoon. Seattle Kraken versus the New York Islanders. Defend the deep, release the Kraken, whatever other catchphrase that you need to be able to set in stone. We need to find a way to get a dub, find a way to get a win on this road trip. And again, instead of hovering around 500, we have to find a way to get a few games above 3, 4, 5. But it all starts here tonight after a tough loss yesterday. Rangers, I see you. Islanders, I see you. I see what these teams are doing out of New York and in the New Jersey area with the Devils as well. Come on, baby. Let's go. Yeah, like I said, after yesterday's game, it definitely makes it tough. But again, when the Kraken are on, I got to be able to support. I got to watch. And I want to say it can't get any worse than it was yesterday. But I do feel that we have a better chance today than we did yesterday. I knew it was going to be tough. Their backup goalie Dawes just, dominated. We didn't get enough offense. And it's one thing if we're giving up goals, just like with the Mariners, if we're giving up runs, but we want to make sure that we're at least punching back and we're fighting back. You don't want to have your goalie or have your team, give up a lot and then you're not able to produce anything offensively. That's when the games get really, really long. And, we can all be fans and be honest about it. When games go like that, when it's like the first period, you don't even really want to watch the second or third period because you have an idea of more than likely, not 100%, but you have an idea in your head on how the rest of the game is going to go based on what you saw, in the first 20 minutes or the first 30 minutes. And I hear you. I woke up and I was thinking, gosh, I'm going to do the Kraken today. I could, have done a different matchup, but if the Seattle Kraken are on, we're going to give them priority no matter who else is playing. But again, we want to make sure that we're playing, like at least a fringe playoff team, a fringe wild card team, not as we don't want to come out of the, the streams and be like, oh, look at us. We're one of, the bottom 5 or bottom 10 teams overall. I still think there's a little bit of hope. Every day that we lose, that hole gets a little bit smaller. You want to be able to see the light at the end of the tunnel, even if it's just a little bit. But I feel pretty good about today. It can't be any worse than it was yesterday. And, the Devils are a better team than the Islanders. But again, when you're on the road, it may not matter. But 21-10 is just fucking unacceptable for the Kraken. Exhibition, coming in, obviously, as that expansion team, and then no expectations. Then, maybe being a year early, making the playoffs. And then, we were hoping that we could follow that up, just like the Mariners when they made the playoffs with Julio last year. We wanted to follow up playoffs with playoffs. But then you start to realize how deep it is in the West, in the MLB, and in the NHL, that it's not guaranteed that you're going to make it every year as a divisional winner or let alone a freaking wild card because it is so deep. So we'll see where it goes. But I feel confident. I feel pretty good. And hopefully we end up having a good day today. Sarah in the building, what's good? Let's get to 100 in donos. Let's do it. Let's go. Let's go. And everyone, make sure you are taking care of your mental health. It seems like a lot of my friends are no longer with me. Like I said, it just seems like every couple weeks I find out another friend has passed away. And it's tough. So, again, if your mental health is a little bit tough, make sure that you're putting yourself in a good position to succeed, whatever that may be. Go for a walk, spend time, with your pets, listen to music, spend time in streams, read, watch your shows, just make sure that you're putting yourself in a position to win. But, I feel like I've lost way too many friends as of late. 2 friends in the same friend circle, and those are the last 2 that I have just heard of. So I already had to go through this a few months ago with my friend Armand, and me and my boy Brooks, obviously we would make the beats and we would spend time with each other, and we both worked together in sales, and we also worked with my boy Armand, and Armand is no longer with us. And then, my buddy's girlfriend, and we ended up hanging out a little bit with Jesse and Serena, and then now Serena is no longer with us. And then I find out late last night after streaming, then another one of my friends, Sarek, is no longer with us. It's just really, really tough. And, I feel like with depression and anxiety, everyone's got choices on what they can end up doing. But again, I don't want to have anyone feel like, there is nowhere to go and there's no outlet, and we can definitely bring the positivity. But it just makes me a little sad, because, just seeing, friends from a same friend circle, go down that same kind of path within a couple months. It's a little scary. I want to have my friends be around. I want to have my friends, hit 30. I want to have my friends hit 40, because half of my friends are going to be from like maybe 20 to 30. And then I'm going to have the other set of my friends that are going to be like 30 to 45. And then obviously I have some people that are over 45 that I'm friends with. But as far as like here in Oregon, like the people, that I'm typically kicking it with, it kind of goes both ways depending on friends and whatnot. But it's a sad thing when you got, such a long life ahead of you. And, some of my friends are not even hitting 40. They're not hitting 35. They're not hitting fucking 30. So make sure you're taking care of yourself and you're checking in on your friends, the ones that deserve to be checked up on. Not just anybody deserves you to check up on them. But if someone's checking up on you from time to time, make sure you check up on them too. Big facts. Let's go. Daniel in the building. What's good? Yeah, it's rough, and it's crazy too because sometimes when you see people like Sarek, my friend, like I never saw the guy in a bad mood. I never seen him like angry, pissed off, irritated. It was always a smile and a hug. And obviously, you go through your own personal demons. When you're hanging out in a friend group, you're going to put on a face. So you don't really know what demons or what people are going through in their personal life, with their family, with the boyfriend, girlfriend situation, living situation, job, friends, betrayal or a bad relationship or a bad living situation, whatever it may be that makes someone decide to go down that dark path, decide to be here or not be here. And it's just, man, I've had too many, within the last year or two. I think I'm at like 5. And that's way too many of my friends or friends of friends or, people that I used to party with, that I don't really see that much anymore because I'm focusing my time on Paisley and you guys. It's tough. Gru is in the box, baby. Let's go. I'm so excited. See, now we have something to get, excited about. So even though we know Gru, didn't play very good at the beginning of the season, 5-9-1 record. This is something that we can get excited for. Even if he ends up playing bad and we lose and he gives up 3, 4, 5 goals, purple tie for Hack. Okay. But again, sometimes, it's just a breath of fresh air, something different, something new. Joey got fucked up last night with Decord. So I like this move by Hack. I think it's brilliant. If Philip is good to go, let's give it a shot. And let's see if he can give us a dub. I don't think anyone expects a shutout, but if he can give up 3 goals or less, preferably 2 or less, and we can score our normal 2 or 3 or 4, let's make this a game. So let's go. I am so excited, and I was feeling the same way as you. I was kind of up and then down. I decided to go outside and take 2 long walks with Paisley, soak in a little bit of that sun, and just noticing that Gru is there. We'll do plenty of Gru photos. I'm feeling a little re-energized a little bit. Obviously if Gru's out there and then we end up giving up 5 goals and it didn't really matter, but we can be positive and hope for the best. And who knows, maybe he only gives up 2 goals or less and we win 3-2 or 4-3, something of that nature. I mean, that could help us. So I really like the move by Hack. Like, if you had a choice between Joey, and what you have with Grubauer, based on how he played last night, I 100% back the move. Give Joey a day off. He definitely needs to get his mentals back. And, let's give Philip a chance to be able to show what he can do. And maybe he'll give us that breath of fresh air and that juice, that energy that we've needed seems like we've been kind of flat in games as of late, and we haven't been all on the same page. So I like this move. Let's go. That's what I thought. I didn't think he was playing. I heard there was rumors that he was going to be playing soon, but I did not know it was going to be tonight. 2 shots on goal for the Kraken, 1 for the Islanders. Already off to a better start than we were against the Devils. So I like our chances. I actually think we can win this game today. Let's go. All right, I got to turn it up. There we go. Let's go, Hack. You brilliant genius, you getting Phillip in there. Let's go. Thank you to Cyberpunk and Sarah helping out on the Twitter/X side. I appreciate that. I mean, after football's over, things are going to be different. It's going to be a lot of NHL and then, MLB, wrestling once a month, and then maybe NASCAR once a month, maybe, depending on, what kind of crowd that we can end up getting. But, we got to be able to do that. We'll still do, the NFL draft and anything that ends up being important on the NFL and college football scene for sure. A little bit of March Madness, a little bit of the NBA playoffs, or if there's nothing else on, we can always do a Blazer game or an NBA game at some point if needed. So, we're never going to, run out of things to do each day. So, no, yeah, he did. He did, but I don't mind. I don't mind one bit. And then Dumoulin is out, and Justin Schultz is still day to day. And then for the Islanders, Fashing is out, the right winger, and then Romanov is day to day. So yeah, well, he's known more for, doing Dodgers, even though I know he does, football and does other things. Like I said, there's millions and millions of channels, and then there's hundreds of sports channels, so you just have to be able to grind it out, be consistent, add things, to make your stream a little bit different, from others. And as long as you're putting in that grind and that hustle and that work, things will end up working out. I like him. I wouldn't mind collabing with him. I would assume that, at some point or another, there's not many people that I would want to collab with, but he definitely is a chill dude. And, just based on his Dodger love and, with me and my dad and everything, maybe we can figure something out this season when it ends up being Mariners, Dodgers. We can do a collab stream or something like that. So, I mean, it'll be up to him, but I mean, I would definitely stream with him. And even if that meant, streaming on his channel and not doing it on mine, even though I like to do stuff on my own channel, I would sacrifice a stream on my own to be hop on his if that's how he wanted to do it, or if he wanted to hop on, obviously, or he could be live at the same time with me. It just depends on who the primary person who's hosting the stream, which I wouldn't really care, to be honest, if it was him. So, but even if we don't end up collabing, once in a while, I'll hop in his stream and say hello, and see how he's doing and whatnot. So, it's good to be able to be on, a good vibe, with other streamers, since most of them have huge egos and they don't want to work with other people, and a lot of betrayal and backstabbing and shit, and a lot of shit talking. So, it's very hard to be able to find people that not only that you can trust in real life, but people that you feel that are, good people and people that you can vibe and connect and actually stream with, as far as streamers that are concerned that are doing the same type of thing. So, well, hopefully it'll pick up for Valhalla. I mean, I imagine it will. I mean, he's got the Dodgers as his favorite team. The Dodgers are going to be the most popular in baseball from here on out. They're already the most popular team. They sell the most tickets. They have the most fans that travel the most. They just got fucking Ohtani and a bunch of others. So, yeah, I mean, he's going to, hopefully do pretty well. And hopefully, he gets some donations on the baseball side. I don't know what it is about, baseball streams compared to like football and wrestling, but it's like people work hard when they do the baseball streams, and he definitely deserves to get appreciated the same way that I do and others that actually do the baseball stuff. No one deserves to do a baseball stream for 3-4 hours and end up at a zero. I don't care who you are, especially if you're an established YouTube channel. I mean, that's just ridiculous to put in that much time and effort and not even have one person, acknowledge or show some support. It's crazy. So I'm wishing the best of luck for Valhalla and his Dodgers, and as well as my dad's. 15 minutes left in the first period. 2 shots on goal for the Kraken, 1 for the Islanders. What type of stuff does Valhalla do besides NFL and then Dodgers? What else does he do? NASCAR? And then what else? Does he do everything pretty much that we do? Like everything? Or tries to do a lot of different things? You kind of have to if you're doing it full time. There we go. Matty Beniers, baby. 1-0 Kraken. There we go. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Yes, sir. And that's what we needed. Matty being the Matty that we wanted him to be. Yes. Matty. Ooh, he took a big pop, too. Nice job, Matty. We want you to be the best player on the team overall at some point, or be the top 2 guy. If we bring in someone just as good as him or better, but when you draft a guy that high, you want him to eventually figure it out, and I think he will. But I think a lot of people wanted him to, already have been a top 10 player like right out of the gates. And sometimes you have to go through a little bit of a sophomore slump, or you have to go through the ups and the downs, and then eventually find who you are as a player on the ice. So nice job, Matty. From Michigan all the way to New York, 1-0 Kraken. You know who likes that? Fucking Bowie. Bowie likes that. Yeah, baby. Yes, sir. Bowie likes it. Nice job, Matty. 1-0 Kraken. Much better than the game yesterday. See, now we got Bowie going. We got Grew in net. Matty with a goal. Everything that normally doesn't happen is happening. Joey's not in net. We're not down 1 or 2-0, right? We got Grew in there for the first time, and Matty scored first. When's the last time Matty scored first in a game? Let's be honest. It doesn't happen very often where he's the first guy that scores. A lot of games, he doesn't even score at all. Maybe he'll get an assist. Sometimes no assist, no goal, nothing. So I love that. That is awesome. Great to see Matty. And maybe this is the game Matty gets another goal. Maybe he can get a double deuce. Maybe he can get another one at some point. He's got a goal in both games against the Islanders this season, so he knows something that they don't. I love it, baby. Let's go. Hey, baby. Much better than that Devils game. I already knew that Devils game was going to be some shit, too. Hell yeah. 1-0 Kraken. Yeah, Matty got hit hard into the boards. Well, tougher opponent, I think, and obviously when they put up, there's so many goals on you right away. Like you get 1, 2, 3 goals in the first period, you already feel defeated. It's like it's really tough, especially if the offense isn't clicking. It's like you're just looking up at the scoreboard or just waiting for the game to end. And I mean, hell, if us fans were feeling it, they were feeling it. Not only the fans that were there in the building in New Jersey, but I think everyone was like, I mean, hell, that shit was so bad. Us as Kraken fans are like, God damn it. Like, it's like we should be excited for the matchups no matter what. But when you have a rough game like that, sometimes it's like, God damn, I don't know if I want to sit through another fucking loss of 3-1, 4-1, or 5-1. So, sometimes you need a little bit of a change, a little bit of a spark. And Grew and net, I think, definitely was it. So let's go, baby. Yeah, tough, having these people, and some of these friends, oh, another save. Some of these friends, I mean, I haven't seen in a minute. Some of them it's been 6 months. Some of it it's been a year or a couple of years. Since we, maybe last hung out at a party or a get together and whatnot. It's just really, really sad. Especially 2 of them are in one friend group. In a friend group of about maybe 10 or 20 people, two of them are from that friend group with me and a few others. So definitely hits a little bit harder when you have one person that goes. And then if you have another a couple months later, it's so unexpected. So Matt in the building, what's good? Let's go. Everyone take care of your mental health, baby. 1-0 Kraken. Let's go. Much better than yesterday. Nice job, Maddie. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Defend the deep. Release the Kraken. Yeah, boy. I just hate when that feeling, that vibe, the game is already over. And we know in hockey and any other sport, if the team is trying, anything is possible. But when you play someone and you're getting beat up and you can kind of feel like the team is quitting, even though they're not, but it kind of feels like they're quitting, then that's what you get yesterday, where it's like, we're already down 3 goals in like the first period. Our offense is very lazy and lackluster, kind of lackadaisical. It seemed like the focus wasn't there. We couldn't find any good lines. We couldn't find any power plays. When they got power plays, they were getting 6, 7, 8 shots on goal. I mean, how the hell are you supposed to win when that happens? You don't. And luckily, we didn't get shut out, and we got a cheap one at the end. But I feel much better today. Nice, dude. Yeah, anytime you post that stuff, you send it to me. I'll like it. And a lot of your stuff doesn't show up on my feed automatically. Sometimes if you send it to me, I'll read it or like it, and then eventually I will go through your feed. If you notice, like when you get your phone, you'll see like multiple posts that I've liked because I have to go to your profile and bang, 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 because that's what friends do, right? We support each other. And I don't know how many people love college football. Obviously, you and me got the Ducks thing going, Matt, and obviously we know Megan cares, about USC. Sarah cares about Iowa and everything, just like you and me. And so it's like nice to be able to, deep dive on maybe certain things that you thought that maybe you were only into. But if you just, go over stuff like route running and highlights and game film and film study, because honestly, my favorite thing to do is film study. I could literally do it, 8, 9, 10 hours, be in a studio. It's like rappers and singers, when they get in there. I love doing what I do, here for YouTube for you guys, but I love being able to read and watch film and that way I'm not copying anybody else. I'm able to make my own predictions and my own ESP, based on what I'm watching, not just some condensed highlight reel or just copying someone else's point of view or channel and then, copying their shit. It's just, you got to be original. No goal. Oh, so close. Bucks, Rays, Bolts in the building. What's good? Yeah, goal challenge. 5 shots on goal. I like that. But again, the Devils are a better team, than the Islanders. Even though the Islanders are 22, 18, and 12, no one's fearing them. The Rangers and the Devils are the better team from the New Jersey, New York area. So I definitely feel that, we match up well and we should beat this team. I don't give a shit if we're on the road. We got Grew in there. Maddie scored first. Never happens. Why not? So this could be a game that we could get 3 or more goals. It kind of really feels like it. Last appearance for Grew, December 9th against the Lightning. Let's throw up a Grew photo. Golly, my boy, Grew. Nice to have you back. And, it's not like I didn't love Joey. You know how much I love Joey Decord, right? But nice to see him back, and we're going to need to, rely on each other. It's not going to just be one guy. Sometimes you're going to need another guy to step up. When one guy took over for the original guy that didn't do very good, now you're starting to hit a wall a little bit. Take a rest, take a breather, and we get our original starter from the year back in there. Let's see what he can do. And so far, so good. 1-0 Kraken with 10 minutes to go. So that's a hell of a good sign because in some of the other early matchups in Gru's early season, sometimes he would be giving up 1, 2, 3 goals like Joey did in the first period yesterday. So great start for Gru. Phillip getting in there and not even giving up anything, keeping his head on his swivel. He looks pretty athletic out there. Good hand-eye coordination, good movement there in the crease. Let's go, Gru. The Islanders destroyed the Bolts. Yeah, I definitely saw some Mariners, Julio swings. A lot of people will send me stuff, but again, I'm a nerd, so all I do is fucking read, watch film, and then exercise with Paisley, hang out with you guys. So a lot of the stuff I've seen already. Just like when we share posts with each other, a lot of times we've already seen it, but we're just trying to be nice and filter that information back and forth, or a cool picture, cool video, or whatever it may be. Just to keep each other up to date with what's going on with our favorite teams and players. But I'm very excited for baseball. And like I said, I'm still going to do, Kraken. But I'll tell you what, once baseball starts here in about, 10 to 14 days, yeah, we'll sprinkle in. We'll have to do like a vote, and we'll see, what time the things are at, and we'll see what we decide to do. So, because some of the baseball games that start are going to be at like lunchtime. For some of y'all, you guys are going to be, either at work or people might be busy. So I would assume, the donos would be kind of light, especially if it's going to be like a noon broadcast or something like that. So obviously, once they start going into 4 o'clock and later, that'll work out a little bit better for everyone, I feel. But you never know. Maybe we'll end up doing some noon broadcasts, and we'll get some baseball fans to actually show some love, and we can get some like subs, donos, shares, and some good viewership. So there's always going to be a hype for baseball season, even initially when it starts. It just depends on how hardcore you are on the baseball. Like for some of us, it's like we've already been salivating since the season ended, and then we're excited that it's like already getting into the point of preseason baseball, even though it ended in October. So nice to have it going, and then we'll be in the regular season before you know it, and we'll be doing a hell of a lot of Mariners, Dodgers, and we'll sprinkle in some of the other people's favorite teams with some Braves and some Cardinals and Yankees and a few other teams, throughout the year. Blue Jays. Nice job, Gru. 1-0 Seattle. Thank you, Matt. Appreciate you. Yeah. I think it's like you get to that point where you look in your wardrobe and, it's like, oh, let me try to look to see what we got in there. It might be time for me to throw on a Julio or a Griffey and, look at all the different bandanas and hat combinations and things that I got. I am ready. I am ready. I did see a post about a guy complaining about the new Fanatics Nike like kind of screen print jerseys that they're making for the Mariners. And everyone's got an opinion on jerseys, for the screen print, or it's like they got it, they pressed on with the letters and numbers, with like heat, or you're gonna get ones that are stitched, and then you're gonna get like the different levels of the stitching of the jersey, and then like the official one, which usually is a very, very expensive stitch, right? But I was looking at some side by sides of like last year's and this year's, and I don't know what Nike was doing, but it definitely looks like they got a little sloppier, at least on the cheaper made jerseys. Like the MLB logo, instead of it being right on your neck where it needs to be, right? It's like underneath the line, where the dip is on your neck. So it looks weird. And then the font with the letters on the back, it doesn't look as good. And then the number and the way that the number looks and the way that the name looks and the colors and the stitching or the pattern, because it's not even really stitching, it's like heated on or whatever through the press. But yeah, it seems like for whatever reason those screen print or heated on jerseys, the cheapest $100 to $150 jerseys that the Mariners had, looks like they've kind of taken a hit. They don't look good. At least I'll have to go to see once they get released on all the Fanatics and the Mariner team store, and I can kind of compare last year to this year and the look and whatnot. But I mean, I probably wouldn't buy necessarily a screen print jersey. I guess it just would depend, on who it is. And I mean, but I already got plenty of Mariner jerseys at this point. I got plenty of Griffey's and Julio, so. We're very aggressive out there. I like it. We're aggressive. We're confident. We're skating with purpose. The passing is crisp. And you can tell when the Kraken get and I don't even think it's really giving up. It's just that the other team we play is such a good defensive team that it makes us look like shit. Like we can't pass. We can't get any good shots on goal. We can't get in the power play. Goalie's giving up 3 or 4 goals. And the other team, and when they're really good or they just are, have a good game plan against our lines and everything is just going the other team's way, it makes it look like Seattle is giving up, and just you might have seen with your own favorite team. That's what happens when you play good teams. They make you look like you're fucking giving up, unless your team has a history of giving up. But I don't think the Kraken really are known as a giving up type of team. So, oh yeah, Teal Ichiro. Ichiros are fire. I don't even have an Ichiro yet. I did a lot of research years back when I was almost in the running for one, where I was thinking, okay, but I didn't want to get just the regular white or the blue. My first look was actually either a Mitchell and Ness type of look, or like one of those all-star jerseys, and like I said, pretty rare, to be able to find stuff like that. But I think the one that I saw was, golly, it was so beautiful. I think it was an Ichiro all-star jersey stitched, and it was black. Like a majority of the jersey was like they did black that year, but just the way that it was set up looked fucking amazing. I never ended up buying it just because I didn't have enough money, and there was many people up for bids on the auction and stuff. So, but I'll definitely have to add a Randy Johnson jersey to my collection at some point before I die. That's an Edgar Martinez, absolutely. But if I'm going to go for one pass player, it would probably be Ichiro and then Randy Johnson, or Randy Johnson and then Ichiro. Those are, because I already got Griffey's, I already got the Julio. Don't got an Edgar yet, but I would rather get the Randy, and Ichiro definitely first. So. But then with Randy, I wouldn't mind getting an Expos one of him too. Those are fire also. Maybe one day. Randy Johnson, Mitchell and Ness, Expos, both colors. With that teal and the white, and then a Mariner one, and then maybe an Ichiro. Yeah, Ichiro teal would look awesome. I don't know too many fans that own the teal. The teal looks good though. I know when I go to the ballpark, it definitely stands out. Mayfield. Power play for the Islanders. He said, guess who's playing? Joey. Just kidding. Philip. I like it. So far, so good. I mean, it's literally the best start that you could possibly think of that's happened. So, Andre Burakovsky, high-sticking double minor. Bjorky, will we see you today? I would love that. You know who else would love that? Bowie. Yeah, baby. Drop that anchor. Let's go. Take care of your mental health. You got a Funko? Which Funko you got? Which Funko? Seahawk Funko or Kraken Funko? How many Seahawk Funkos do you own, and how many Kraken Funkos do you own? Like Mariners, Kraken, like Seahawks. Like how many of Funkos do you have of like the sports that we follow together? Obviously, Sonics aren't around and whatnot, but less than 5 minutes to go. 1-0 Seattle. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Out of play. Yeah, I even decided to wear the blue, hoodie today for not to be closer to what the Islanders are wearing, but just to be more of a blue color for the Kraken rather than the red. It's like I don't want to jinx it. I just like wearing that red hoodie I got from my family with me and Paisley on it because it's just super comfortable, unbelievably comfortable. So I end up wearing that almost every day. But I thought, you know what? I was like, man, we got our ass kicked yesterday. I was like, I gotta, take a walk, take a shower, and just like, all right, let's put on something more Kraken colored. I did not know that Gru was playing, and then I was thinking, there's got to be something positive. We're not playing the Devils back-to-back games, so that's one thing. But on the road, as usually when we play bad, it kind of continues. But I just had a feeling that we might not win this game. But I just had a feeling that we would play a little bit better. And then the Gru surprise. So I feel really good now. So it's like I felt like going into the game, I was like, I was like kind of feeling like a 5 to a 6. Then Gru is in there. Then it went all the way up to like an 8 or a 9. And then obviously Maddie's scoring first. Now I'm already like, okay, we just want it to be a fun, entertaining, engaging game. Because even for me, you got to see where I'm coming from. I'm a streamer. So, this is my full-time job. The last thing I want to do is invest 3 or 4 hours of my life watching one of our favorite teams get their ass kicked for the 3 or 4 hours when you are just waiting for the game to get over with because that's how bad it is. Let's not kid ourselves. I get that way. You guys get that way. Sometimes you want to turn the TV off. Fuck, sometimes you do. But for me as a streamer, I can't necessarily turn it off or walk away when I want to, So sometimes you got to stick it out even though it gets a little bit uglier at times, but it does make you appreciate the good when you see it, and I guess that's a part of the gratitude. You have to go through the shit to get to the good, just like in relationships, you have the shit and you have to get, through the shit to get to the good and the great and the amazing people, in your life. You got to be able to know what a good person is and what isn't. Big facts. 7 shots on goal for the Kraken, 6 for the Islanders. Full set of Largent throwbacks. Sweet. Any of them that so the way with Funkos, because that's like literally the only toy I don't collect. I collect every other fucking toy on planet Earth, but just not Funkos. I just don't do it. I'm not against it, but I just like, if I have a choice, I have other things that I've already invested in, like wrestling figures or starting lineups or McFarlane's. So I would rather go there. But are you able to open up the Funko boxes and take the Funko out without ruining the integrity of the box? Does it have like a flap? And then or does the box get ruined, or is it like taped shut? So that way you have to break a seal when it's open. Nice save by Gru. I'm only asking is because I don't collect them, and the box looks like you can open it with unless it's sealed with like a sticker, a little piece, for to break the seal. I'm not sure if it has something like that, but it look the boxes, they look like you can just put your hand in there, and then there's like a little knob, and then you can like flip the flap up and then possibly take it out and then put it back in. But trust me, we all like sports, and some of us like wrestling, some of us don't. But some of us like UFC or boxing or rugby. But it doesn't really matter what it is, wrestling or boxing or hockey or basketball or football. But when you end up watching, and you're a passionate fan, that's another part of it. When you're a passionate fan, it's like you wear your heart on your sleeve. all the time on whatever you do. So it's like, you're all in, on when the good times are good, but golly, when it's bad, and you're an emotional fan, there's nothing wrong with being emotional. It's just how, a lot of us are if you really care and you're hardcore about the fans and the players. But I'll tell you, man, I mean, if anyone understands what it's like to, have to suck it up and have to go through, the good and the bad games, I try to put us in a position to do as many good quality games on every stream that we do. But again, we can't read the future all the time. Every once in a while, we'll get a clunker, where our favorite team or players play like shit, like the Kraken yesterday. But I don't see that team today. This team seems really re-energized, and I love that. Even if we didn't even score the goal with Maddie, it just being 0-0, I'm thrilled because I was like, man, this might be fucking bad again. Like I can't, my heart can't handle another 2-0 first period lead, and I'm like, oh great, another one of these, Reflect in the building. What's good? Much better today. Our original goalie is playing for the first time in quite a while, and a few months. Grew is in net. He's done great. Almost 20 minutes being clean in the first period. We got Matty Beniers, pretty much the superstar of the Kraken, or that was the guy that was drafted to be the face of the franchise. Has been good and has been off, throughout his brief career so far. But he ended up getting the first goal for us, which is never happens. It's very rare that Matty not alone scores the first goal, scores it all. It's not like he scores every game. And very cool. So it's like you got Drew, you got Maddie. I mean, it can't get any better than us getting another goal here in the last minute, and then it would make me really ecstatic. Or if we get one in the first 2 minutes in the second period. But so far, so good. Shots on goal about even. We aren't skating out there with no purpose. It feels like the players are re-energized. And again, when you play a great team like the Devils, it's like the Kraken could still be playing hard, but then it just looks like they're playing like shit. And I mean, they were, when you end up getting a defense that can clamp you down, you can actually be a good team and look like dog shit. That's what happens. You can really notice it on the hockey side too. It's like you get a team that is just dominating on all phases of the game. You are not coming back. You can't stop anybody in net. They're getting goals at will, shots at will. You can't even pass to each other, right? You barely got any shots on goal. There's barely any power plays, if any. And if they get a power play, they probably score off of it. I mean, it's miserable. Being a hockey fan, you got to be, like baseball. You got to be strong. You got to be strong-minded to be able to go through the bullshit in the hockey and the baseball season sometimes. It ain't all peaches and cream. I'll reflect. Yeah, I love it. I know there was rumors about Grew, but I was so shocked. They panned in on him, and then they panned on the net, and I was like, oh, no Joey Decord? I was like, awesome. He got roughed up that last game, and he filled in early, great, but then it's kind of hit the wall. But I also feel it hasn't been all Joey Decord's fault. I feel it's been the offense and the lines, and maybe not necessarily all like on hack in the coaching. You have to have talent, and then those talented pieces need to step up. And in some Kraken games, they fucking don't. It just sucks. It's just like, just skating up and down, and you're just getting dominated. But Maddie's showing some emotion, and I love it. And I hope Maddie turns into the best player on the team, and then we can add someone like him, to pair up with him, or someone even better than him. Hell, Nathan McKinnon, type of guy. Hello, come to Seattle. But a really good start. I mean, especially for a guy that, let's be honest, Philip played great last year. The beginning of this year, they played terrible. It was horrible. It was like the Mariners at the beginning of the year, the same exact thing. Like the Kraken fans and the Mariner fans and the players and everyone, we just had this false belief that once we become relevant, that we can do it just like everybody else. Oh, they made it to the playoffs, so they're going to continue to keep doing it. And then we're like them. And then we get all confident and think, yeah, we can do it. And then all of a sudden we go into that next season after making the playoffs. What happens? Like we play like shit in the beginning, or we have injuries, and we get hot late, but it's too little too late. And then we, at the end of the year, like, what the fuck, man? Like, why? So you have to really appreciate, when you are a small market team, or, your maybe team doesn't spend any money, Mariners, that you have to take all the little W's before you get to that big W. So MSU in the building. What's good? 1-0 Kraken, baby. I had a feeling today was going to be better. I had some really, really long walks today. It's like one of the first times where, we have these neighborhoods that like interconnect. And sometimes when we go like almost 45 minutes to an hour and we're almost home, if you take like a side street, it'll lead to another side street. And then all of a sudden I'm back where I was in the initial walk. So it gets tough sometimes, but the weather was great. And the bottom line is I feel like with the gratitude that I have, it's like understanding that, if you have a dog or a cat or if you have a pet, every one day of your life, a dog is like a week. So imagine, a dog not being able to go outside or run around in the backyard or go to a dog park or to be able to, go outside or at least be in a car to, have its head out the window to smell some air. So it's like you want to make sure that if a dog in one day, that's like a week of our life. Yeah, it's like make sure you're spending that proper time, getting that pet and that fur baby outside to be able to enjoy their best life. Big facts. Hell yeah. Red Wings, Oilers, who you got? You got Edmonton? That should be the logical choice unless you got some kind of parlay or weird bet. And then so you got Oilers and Lakers on your parlay. Do it, man. Educate me. I try to drop the knowledge and I watch the film and I read. And you're probably surprised. I told you for a while to get Twitter/X, and you didn't want to do it. Now you're on it like 24/7. It's like your favorite app besides whatever else you use besides YouTube, right? But the thing is the thing that probably surprised you is like we're gonna still read the same things and we're gonna send each other the same things that we probably have already read, or maybe not on some of the things that I send you, or vice versa. But it's always good to be able to know that you have at least like one other person out there that is like on the same kind of like vibe length, where it's more than just watching the games and cheering, go Ducks. It's much deeper than that. So and now moving forward, it's even going to be more exciting for us to be able to talk about it because this is really when it's going to count for Washington, Oregon, USC, and UCLA to start making names for ourselves in the Big Ten. And I think that's exciting. So do that shit. Make posts. You already know what to do. I already fucking set the wheels in motion, bro. Nice. Nice. It's a fun thing to do. Everyone does it a little bit differently. Some people don't do it at all. Some people, you can just look up stuff on YouTube and highlights and watch routes and watch how they play and try to get a couple of videos on the people that you're looking up. 2 shots on goal. Goal for Maddie. Maddie getting interviewed, looking good, nice beard. Might need a haircut at some point. It's getting a little bit long, but Maddie looking good, man. Confident. Going both games versus the Islanders, and I like it. I mean, the better that Maddie is to be a superstar, the better the Kraken overall will do. It's like if Maddie ends up being not like Nathan McKinnon, but if you end up being like a top 10 player in hockey, which that's why they drafted Maddie to be a top 10 or top 15 or at least try to be. I don't know if anyone assumed that he'd be a top 5 player overall. That would be awesome if he ends up turning into that. But if he's not that and he's a top 10 or top 12 or something at some point, that could really help us out dramatically moving forward. Depending on if we're trying to get hot and win games that are winnable. Judah in the building. Yeah. For me, because I do every single sport and wrestling, I'm a kind of psychopath. It's like all I do is do this. So I like it keeps me busy. Spend time with Paisley. I started Workaholics from season 1, episode 1, just to watch the carnage with Anders and Blake, Adam. Good stuff. Judah. NHL. Yeah. You got any NHL draft information? Yeah, make sure you talk about that. I mean, anything that has to do with the NHL draft or NFL draft or something, or the trade deadline or players rumors, but like not the dumb rumors, but like the shit that actually might happen. Some stuff is just out there that people are just throwing out there that sticks. But depending on who's putting it out there, if it's one of the guys that's reliable, men or women that are covering the sport, then sometimes we can take that with a little bit of grain of salt. I think it's also cool that even though all of us, for the most part, have different teams that we root for, we might be in a certain area in the country, Northwest for some of us, and then for the teams that we support, and then also people in the Midwest or East Coast, South. But there's like a lot going on with a lot of our teams, so it's like there's nothing really boring, about anybody's team. Like, yeah, honestly, at the end of the day, the goal for USC or Washington or Oregon is going to be to win it all, not just to win the Big Ten, but to win the Natty. And then, with the Mariners, trying to get to the World Series and win. I mean, everyone is focused on the same thing: Kraken, winning the Stanley Cup. But sometimes we gotta, you gotta crawl before you walk. So, Road Warriors, 6 of Matty Beniers, 7 goals have been on the road. We need to figure out how to get him getting goals at home. You got to be Road Warrior, you got to be Animal, and you got to be Hawk. You got to be both of them, bud. You just can't be Road Warrior Hawk. I need you to be Road Warrior Animal at home too. I think he'll get better, but it'd be really sweet to get like a Nathan McKinnon type of player, with Maddie and what we have. Like that'll be a dream come true if you can end up getting a legitimate number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5 player. Because a lot of times, if you're a top 5 player, 3, 4, and 5 is usually interchangeable, and then 1 and 2 are the top dogs. So 1-0 Kraken. Let me know what you guys want to do for photos, and I got you. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. Shout out to the people watching on Twitter /X. 1-0 Kraken. And you let me know what you want. Let's go, baby. Kraken. 1-0. Much better than that terrible game yesterday. Watching hockey games when your team is getting their ass kicked is miserable. It's not as miserable as watching like the NBA and watching your favorite team get obliterated there, but just watching an NBA game in general. But like with hockey, when things are not going well, it is really rough because a lot of times when things aren't going well, you can feel the game flow vibe sometimes where no matter what, right? Second, third period, this game's fucking over. Like they gave up, it's over. They're already thinking about the next game. And those are the ones that are like the worst to watch because then you're just stuck there, for another like 45 minutes to an hour or whenever. If it was like after the first period, the game's over. Then you got to sit there for another hour and a half knowing that there's no way they're not going to score. If they do, it's 1 at the very most. And you're going to get obliterated and then no effort. It's just a shit show. Those get really tough. Like we felt that like that yesterday, but sometimes you just gotta keep it moving. Seahawks. All about the analytics. That Matt Payton guy, I heard of him. Now let's do some Seahawks stuff for y'all. Do that. I can do that. He looks good. You know what I mean? Like sometimes when you get like a coach, and even if you just like have a logo that's like superimposed and but it just kind of just gives you a vibe, something's photoshopped and but just to like give you an idea, a glimmer on what it could look like on the sideline if he were to wear an outfit that looked similar. And sometimes, it's like you got to be able to have the right personality, the right leadership. Are they genuine? Are they smart? And then also, do they see the big picture? The big picture at the end of the tunnel, the light at the end of the tunnel. Because the job is not only to take over for Pete Carroll, the job is to be able to take over the NFC West, and the NFC, like to be able to be the team over the Niners. It's not like we hired you just to be able to get to the wild card every year. You're going to want to try to be able to beat Shanahan to be number one in the NFC West. And if you are, there's a chance that you might be the number one team in the NFC. Because if you have a better record than the Niners, then that probably means you have 11 or more wins. So, I might be a Buck fan, but, it kind of feels like, and Ravens, type of person. And also getting people that come from a successful organization, that helps too, because you can have a brilliant guy, but if you go, to different places and the scenery and the people that you're around aren't as intelligent or they just don't click very well, it's definitely, you're not going to get the most out of the coaches or the players. Like sometimes you just have to find the right people. You have to find your tribe, like us here. You have to find the right people that click together. It's not going to be for everyone. Not everyone will get our vibe, and what we're about. But it should be pretty exciting to see how things get put together, for the full coaching roster, top to bottom, what changes are made, and then if they stay that way for a year or two, or if there's some changes in year two, and then ultimately trying to be able to win the division, and then winning the division is the goal, but obviously wild card at the very least. You don't go into the season thinking, oh yeah, we don't want to get to at least 10 wins. Like you want to be better than 9-8. You want to be 10-7 or better. That's a standard goal. And every team that's a fringe wild card team or Super Bowl team, that's what it is. 10 wins or more, 10-7 or better. And then if you're really good, 12 or 13, and hope that you can go all the way. Boom shakalaka. No, that Matt Payton guy, 6'2", playing the slot. He play wide out spot, can run all the route on the route tree, all the double move routes, and he has a very high football IQ. Matt Payton. Yeah, you need that. Still need to keep building on that line. And again, sometimes people hit, on the draft, some people don't. It all depends on the coaching staff at that particular time. And it shows you what coaching staffs, even like a Kyle Shanahan can be brilliant on coaching and, getting the most out of his guys and being able to find weaknesses in other teams. But obviously on the flip side, you got to make sure that you get everyone in tune for overtime, and you want to cover all the bases. You can't leave any situation not at least talked about or coached up. And, it is what it is. But I think even if they knew that rule, bottom line is, for me, you corrected the CMC and you got a better running back. But the bottom line for the Niners, if you're going to end up beating better than the Eagles or the Cowboys or the Saints or the Bucks or the Seahawks or the Packers, fine. Right? But if you want to be able to win it all, you have to have Joe Montana, Steve Young, which means you need a top 5 quarterback. And I just think that with the Brock Purdy's and the Kaepernicks and the, Jimmy G's, that's like Purdy's better than those, but you're still getting similar numbers. That's what they did. You're not getting the 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. You're not getting the 3 touchdowns, no pick. You're not getting the same kind of, stat line at the end of the day. You need to be Steve Young or Joe Montana. Until they have Steve Young or Joe Montana, then, like if they would have signed Tom Brady on the Niners, before, back in the day, then you would have maybe been able to win. Or, like I said before, if you're the Niners and you do have Brock Purdy and you do win the Super Bowl, it's not going to be against the Chiefs. But if it's against the Ravens or someone else, maybe you win. Maybe. But it'll be exciting to see what the Seahawks do against the Niners. It'll make that rivalry more spicier. All the spice. One zero Kraken. Yeah. That's good. Young. We want to make sure that he's playing for a long, long time. Because, I mean, if he ends up being like a bust, which I don't think he will be, but if he were to be a bust, that would definitely put us back a little bit. You know, so we got to make sure that everyone that we're getting is getting developed at the right type of pace, and we have the right chemistry with the right pieces together. And once we have those pieces, I know Seattle will be able to make a run. But the West is very competitive. But that's what I would want it to be. But, yeah. Wirfs is amazing, bro. Watching Wirfs play is like having Antoine Winfield Jr. Like, if you watch any Bucks games, you can tell who the Hall of Fame players are going to be. Like, at the end of the day, you know, Antoine Winfield Jr. and Wirfs are going to be in the Hall of Fame. And when you see Hall of Fame players play, it's pretty exciting. Boom. Shakalaka. A $2 Rahara. Yeah, and you got to just, you know, you're going to take baby steps, you know, and get better. And it just shows you how hard it is to be good one year, have like these big expectations, but sometimes, you know, it doesn't, you know, end the way that you want, but then you just got to look forward to next year, what changes are going to be made, and, you know, the bright future, you know. Bang, 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 boom, boom, boom. Bang, bang. Good for the NFC West. Niners Seahawks games, they're going to be fun. $2 Rahara, appreciate you. Another $2 Rahara. I mean, that's going to be an exciting division. And you know what? Let's be honest. Bang, bang. Stacks on stacks. Rex on Rex. A little cactus jack. What's going to be exciting is not only the Seahawks Niners, but now Seahawks Rams. Because now even the Rams and the Niners, it gets a little spicier because the team that we thought was going to be bootios, right, is actually kind of good. So it's like there is no guarantee, you know, that every year, you know, if Seattle has a couple weeks where it's not very good play for a month, that's bad. The Rams could take the spot. So we, you know, there's going to be a lot of expectations. Now everyone can beat the shit out of the Cardinals. That's a given. There's their last place. Don't matter who they get, right? But it'll be a nice, fun 3-team race for your guys' division, and I'm very excited to see how that plays out. Oh, that's okay. It started. It's all right. I get it. You know, sometimes we'll hit a 450, right? And sometimes we'll hit a 2. That's how it goes sometimes. One zero Kraken. Let me know what you guys want to do for photos, and I got you. All right, we're going to give the Islanders a little love with their logo because we don't want to be a hater, but not too much, because then if like the sports god sense something, then all of a sudden, you know, I don't want them to get like 2 goals in 20 seconds and then all of a sudden momentum is gone. So a little bit of Islander representation, but not too much. I can't give too much because with the Devils, I mean, that was already bad enough. So that's what you get. That's what you get, Islanders, until you score a goal. Then the logo stays Seattle. Ours looks cooler anyways. I mean, all kinds of Kraken looks. Now I just need to get these to be spinning logos. Then my life will be complete. Can't I get at least like one spinning logo out of these 4? Golly. I know someone's got to be in the lab to come up with some cool Seattle stuff for me that I can display on the channel for y'all. 8 shots on goal for the Kraken, 9 for the Islanders. We're in a great position to be able to win this game and I'm not saying necessarily we're going to get a shutout, but Grew has played well. 20 minutes, no goals. First game since what, December 9th? Did not have a very good first part of the season. Played like shit, let's be honest. But we're very excited that he's back and he's played well. So definitely exceeded the expectations already. Because if it was same old Grew, he would have given up 3 goals in the first 12 minutes. And nothing. Looked very sharp out there. Head on a swivel. They definitely took their time on bringing him back. And thank you. Appreciate the two of you. Well, we were playing the Devils, and the Devils are much better than the Islanders. When you watch these like really, really good teams, when you start to watch, all the, I mean, for me, I'm forced to because obviously this is my full-time job. But again, it's like I'm trying to watch as many full games as many teams in the league, before we get to the playoffs. So that way I can get a sense on who is the real contenders and pretenders. Like with Tampa Bay, going into the playoffs. Of course, I knew with Baker we were pretenders. I knew we were not going to beat Detroit, or I already knew what was going to happen. You just know. What teams are have the most talent and the most suited to win the game, as long as they don't drop the bag, fumble the bag. The lower team usually ends up fucking up and making that critical mistake late. The good team finds a way to win. It's not like that by surprise. Interesting to see all the people that are bitching about the Super Bowl still, though. Now the bitching and moaning now is that even though we didn't get a PI or a pass interference call or a non-call, now they're bitching on the holding. That the Chiefs and the Niners, that they didn't do the holding, and then primarily for the Chiefs, I mean, hell, there was holding on every fucking play, and then they're getting even more chirpy about it, because then they're saying, oh, not only is it holding on this play and this play and this play, then they're saying it's like on third down, and then they're saying it's on every critical big play in the game. There was a major hold that was looked the other way and not called. I mean, Niners will get their Super Bowl, just don't play the Chiefs. If we would have got, like I said, if the Ravens would have made it, would they have won? Probably. But there's a chance that what happens if they would have played like they did in the AFC Championship game in the Super Bowl, and then the Niners win, 23-17 or something like that, right? I mean, I think all of us could have seen that. McCaffrey getting in the end zone, both defenses playing awesome, Lamar playing awesome, but them just finding a way because of whoever, Juwan Johnson, McCaffrey or whatnot. So that might be the golden rule for them. Niners ever want to get over this hump and have Shanahan have his legacy not have a terrible name of not being able to get a championship, just don't fucking play the Chiefs. You got to find a way to get to the Super Bowl the year the Chiefs are not there. So then it's like, Burrow, and then you still might lose, but maybe you'll have a better chance. Yeah, Puka and Kyron, and that's why I like McVay too. Is that he can do TV, he can do anything, but the way that these guys memorize plays, it even puts me in like awe, because I feel like my memory is pretty good, and I've been watching stuff since like '85 for sports and wrestling, and I still got a lot of memories in my sports card era. Tata Benias, but I kind of feel like that too. It's like, when I watch these guys, when the verbiage that they do for their play calls and the way that they're breaking down film and terminology, and also recognizing talent, on another level that other guys wouldn't be able to get out of that type of player. Like let's say Puka was on the Bears. Are we talking about Puka Nacua? Fuck no. Because it's not like we think Fields is a terrible quarterback, but again, he's got a long ways to go. That draft class had a lot of shitty quarterbacks, right? Whoa, 5 franchise quarterbacks. And even sometimes, let's be honest, even sometimes Trevor Lawrence is the number 1 quarterback out of that draft class, and he's the best one, right? Fields is 2. And obviously we know Zach Wilson, no good, right? Mac Jones, no good. And Trey Lance, we don't know, but we assume probably not good until he gets the chance. But I mean, I think if Trey Lance got a chance to play sometime and then dominated, that would probably be shocking. to most people. So you got one guy. But even Trevor Lawrence in that draft, let's be honest, like sometimes Trevor Lawrence doesn't really play that good. Like we know he's a franchise quarterback, but I'm not sure if like every fan base is drooling over Trevor Lawrence. Like Trevor Lawrence and yeah, but Trevor Lawrence, again, they went from worst team in the NFL for a couple of years, so it's taken time to build it. But I'm just talking about him. Offensive line could definitely be a little bit better, but sometimes Lawrence is awesome. But sometimes I'm like, damn, there's like players that are kind of better than you that are compared to you, but like, I don't know, man. Like, I mean, of course, if you're going like someone like Stroud and Lawrence, you're going Stroud by a billion. Not that Lawrence is terrible, but I'm not sure if you're going to see Lawrence as like a top 10 quarterback. He seems to me like top 15, but kind of hovering around 11 and 15. But every once in a while, he'll put up a top 8 season. It feels like maybe if they can keep improving. They got a really cool roster, but can you stay healthy with those dogs that they got over there? 12 shots on goal for the Kraken and the Islanders. Yaga, Perkas, Govet, Raika. Oh. Yeah, but they have to understand, especially if I see like all the Niners stuff with Montana winning 4 and Young, you have to find a way if you're going to keep Brock Purdy and not try to get like a player like a Kirk Cousins to take the spot. If you play anybody but the Chiefs, you could probably win or it'll be much closer. But if you keep getting to the Super Bowl and the Chiefs are fucking there, with a guy like Brock Purdy, I'm not sure if it's ever going to be good enough with that talent. I think that he's pretty good. He played like a top 10 quarterback. His stats reflect a top 5, top 10 quarterback in a lot of the statistics. But at the end of the day, as much as we like Brock Purdy and want to root for him, I mean, that's not Patrick Mahomes back there. Even Jalen Hurts was ranked number 1, number 2 the year before, and he couldn't fucking do it. So it's like, who's the guy that can do it? Brady, no longer playing. Burrow. Like, Burrow is the only guy that can beat Mahomes. So you better pray that someone fucking like Burrow beats him or like Lamar. Otherwise, it's just going to be a continuous pat until Andy Reid maybe retires. And even if, like, let's say Bieniemy got the job, it doesn't mean that the Chiefs are still going to be dominant. If Andy Reid leaves the equation, there's still no guarantee that you're going to be able to go as far with Pat and Travis with no Andy, in my opinion. Could it be possible? Of course. Or they could bring someone else in. But I'm just saying, Andy Reid is like the Phil Jackson. So it's like if you break the trifecta up, could you still do it? They did it without Tyreek, and they did it obviously with no Bieniemy, and they got it. But I mean, I think you get rid of one of the 3 pieces, then does the run end or does it slow down? You would assume so. Exactly. Right, you know what I'm saying? But if you look at his stats, his touchdown to interception ratio, and if you're breaking down stats like Cousins, obviously the injury hurts him, but even a name that's more popular, you probably would be better off just sticking with Brock Purdy. But if you were thinking, oh, we got McCaffrey, let's get Kirk Cousins. When he's on this roster, maybe we can make him a top 10 player. And maybe, by the time you get to the playoffs or the Super Bowl, he'll be like ranked top 8. And maybe an 8th ranked quarterback, it's not top 5 or top 2, but maybe it'll be good enough. And I think that they would start to realize that, if you don't have one of the like top guys, it's going to be very, very difficult. Yeah, well, yeah, he was with the Chiefs, and then Washington, and then Washington they fired him, and then going in the Chiefs locker room, and then rah giving him some hype, and then nice save. Yeah, we'll see where he ends up. I mean, it would make logical sense for him just to come back to KC for whatever role you want to give him. Why not? I mean, that's a good key piece. It's like you have a really smart, intelligent person that is not a head coach or a coordinator on a better team. Whether he's qualified to be a head coach or not. Some people are hating on him, but what I do know is that he's a really good play caller, and a lot of people like him. So, if you're just a play caller, hell, there's nothing wrong with being known as a top 5 play caller. of your generation. And if you keep winning Super Bowls, if you have like if you get the moniker or the nickname or something like you are the best offensive coordinator in NFL history, that's got a nice ring to it. I mean, I know the other coaches, they have goals to be like head coach and I want to be an NFL head coach, but are you going to be the greatest of all time? Probably not, based off history and who those guys are. It's always possible we get someone new to be the next GOAT, right? But I don't know, being the best offensive coordinator in NFL history, that's badass. If you ended up having that. To me, best defensive coordinator, like if that was just your role and you never were a head coach, you just knew your lane. And even though you kept getting interviewed, you're like, just this is who I am, and I know I can lead and be a leader, but it's like some guys can do both jobs. Some guys can only do one job, lead or call plays. You can still have a good relationship with the players, but no, I'd be proud of that shit if I was, if that was the label. League is changing all the time, too. Less than 11 minutes in the second period. Come on, Kraken. Cooper Kupp. Oh, man, Cooper Kupp. And you got to think what's going to happen, after Stafford. But that offensive firepower, they need to beef up that O-line, get some more defense that's young. But at some point, you get a new, baller in there. The stats are going to be, yeah, it'll be interesting to see. It all depends on the quality of the quarterback. If you can have a top 16 quarterback, and obviously the closer to a top 10 quarterback that you have, that's going to be probably the difference between the Rams or the Seahawks making maybe a spot. I would assume that you guys will eliminate each other a lot, and then the Niners will be in that mix too, where you guys are trying to beat up and beat the shit out of them too. Everyone's going to try to have that NFC West supremacy. Come on, Kraken. Fast break. Oh, what a save. Damn it. What a save. Yeah, almost 2-0. But I went back and I saw a lot of the stuff on Instagram or Twitter/X and, watch the game. Again, people can say scripted or whatnot, but you didn't get the pass interference flag or no flag or the guy was holding. But as far as like secondary, and then now it's like I said, it's all the focus on the offensive linemen, holding for both teams, and then mostly bitching about the Chiefs since they won. And of course, it would have been the other way around if the Niners would have won. It would have, all the looks, and there was a few that were called, but there was very, like pretty much every play. But some of them are really, really bad too. Like disgustingly bad. It's one thing when you see a guy hold and then they let go, but when you see them like you're holding around the neck, you're bear hugging them, or or they're running away, but you got their jersey, and so you see like the stretching of the jersey as the player's trying to run away from you, and then sometimes they will like catch up to them, and then they like fucking bear hug them, and then they tackle them like right in front of the ref. Like some stuff is so blatant for holding. It's a little ridiculous, but I mean, you can call it almost on every play, but coulda, woulda, shoulda. I mean, if the Niners didn't have that fumble on that special teams, and then also you had a chance to win if you didn't get your extra point block. So there's chances in the game for you to win. But again, unless you're perfect against a team like Brady on the Patriots or, like Mahomes, like if you're not perfect, the chances of you winning is very slim because they're going to be the best at closing the game out because they've been there. They've done that. They've seen every fucking scenario. They've been up. They've been down. They face the adversity. And once you get a combination of confidence and gone through, all that together, then, much easier to be able to anticipate moving forward what's going to happen. But 1-0 Kraken, less than 10 minutes to go, baby. But it's cool. Mahomes' legacy, that's good for the NFL, It's not good for the rest of the AFC quarterbacks and not necessarily good for a lot of the NFC teams based on how things are going. But it's not like he's 4-0. So, we put the blueprint, we showed you how to beat them. But the problem is how many teams are going to have a team that was built like mine that year? Like that shit was like, you're not going to because Brady's not there. And the defense was actually incredibly amazing. Like, I think obviously Super Bowl 37 when I had like Sapp and Brooks and Simeon Rice and Lynch and Barber, that one was way better, like compared to the one that was with Brady. That one was like pretty fucking good. I mean, considering he didn't score a touchdown. But if I had to compare the two, I mean, no question. The other one, you almost have 4 or 5 Hall of Famers. I mean, how many Hall of Famers on defense were on the most current one? But it shows you if you can get pressure on Mahomes. I mean, it doesn't matter Travis Kelce or running backs. Even him trying to improvise, if you got dogs that are all in shape and everyone is sideline to sideline, even your D lineman, you're fucked because that means that your D tackles and D ends can slow his ass down, and then it's not like corners and safeties that have to chase him. Like everyone is on his speed level. But Niners can get over the hump. Just don't play the fucking Chiefs, right? Or you have to get a better quarterback, like a Jalen Hurts or Joe Burrow. The guys that you got, they're just not as good. I mean, you upgraded to the best fucking running back in the running back world, right? You might have to do that on the other side. Oh, I knew that after the first one, that obviously there was, if you have the drama, and with AB, going crazy there at the end, I already knew that we were done because you have to be all together on the same page. It's a family, and it's like if you have a disturbance in the family, and the thing is people can clown on AB with his CTE, and all that, but the bottom line is when Antonio Brown, was playing, and if you get that type of player and he's actually like somewhat there and he's motivated to whatever degree that his motivation was when he last cared. Like, he was a big part of the run. If you don't have a guy like that, because you got Evans, you got Godwin, that's fine. But what happens? The other teams got 2 lockdown corners. You're screwed. So you need that third guy, and that was him. And he was definitely instrumental. But now, I don't know what to say about AB now, though. But I was hoping that we would have one chance, but I think most Bucks fans honestly thought if we were going to have a chance, it would be in year 2 or year 3, just thinking that the team looked like we were close to being good enough. But like, what was the likelihood of like Brady and Gronk switching teams and then all of a sudden just meshing with my coaching staff and my players so smoothly? Then that Brady and Gronk were such gamers, and then you got AB, and then you draft Wirfs and Antoine Winfield Jr., and then they ball out like 2 of the best players on the scene as rookies, and then all of a sudden you do like the craziest shit ever. It's like almost unreal to me still. Like I really thought that I was going to probably just live and I would only see one championship in my lifetime. That one in 2002 against the Raiders and Rich Gannon, Jerry Rice, Charlie Gardner, Tim Brown, Richie Incognito, 1-0 Kraken. So that was like a surprise. And so instead of getting it on the defensive side, I got the offensive side in the second Super Bowl. So I got to see it, but then also the defense was amazing. It's like crazy as shit. It's like Tom Brady in Tampa Bay. Like how? Gronk? Like, and to get them when they're old, but they could still play. It's one thing to get them old and then they're washed up and then you don't get the championship and you're just getting butts in the seat. But it's like you actually get a legend. They can still do it at the end of their career. And then that, if you just are mistake free to the best of your ability, that, you're going to be one of the top 4 options probably, in whatever year. And if you can just find a way to get to the playoffs and this, and find a way just to, keep moving forward, who knows what could happen, right? That's how legacies are made. A lot of angry anti-Chief and Mahomes. It's going to be. We're going to see a lot of Niners and a lot of Chiefs, but hopefully we get a few other teams sprinkled in. Like, give me like a Bengals Burrow championship. Can I get Burrow with a Super Bowl? Would anyone be mad if that happened? I don't know. I want to see him be celebrated at college and the pros, and he might not be able to go to that many in his career, but I really hope. Like, if I'm rooting for one guy besides like Herbert, obviously go Ducks. If he can do it with Harbaugh, that's the number one for me, because I mean that guy has not had good luck, has gotten injured. All the star players have gotten injured. Horrible coaching. Need I say more? All the star players, but they never can get it done. The most like talented roster and disappointment every year besides the Cowboys, the Chargers. I mean, I feel bad. It makes my heart hurt. The Cowboys shit doesn't hurt my heart anymore because it's just plain stupid. It's like, if you got the same shit happening over and over, then I can't feel sorry for you. But for the Chargers, it's like, I kind of like some of their players and I want to see them succeed, like Asante Samuel Jr., Derwin James, Bosa, if you can stay on the field, and Keenan Allen is kind of cool, and Eckler's kind of cool. Like, it would be cool for them to have some success. Rashawn Slater on the line. I don't know. But I think Burrow for me would be cool. I mean, do I have any affiliation with the Bengals? No. But I really like the way that he plays. I like the way that Josh Allen turned his perception around, and I feel now Diggs is at crossroads, because if you're not going to get the ball enough, are you going to be that distraction? And then at some point they might have to get rid of you, because obviously they're going to get rid of you before they get rid of Josh Allen. So it's Josh Allen's team, but hopefully, if they do get rid of him at some point or can't work it out, that they can bring in someone else, because obviously they need better pieces. I do like the running back situation they had, but not enough on defense, though. I think Purdy, proved to people that he's a pretty damn good player for being Mr. Irrelevant. But at the end of the day, if you're going to probably not get 300 yards and you're only going to get one touchdown and one pick, it may not sound terrible, but in the Super Bowl, that's not a good stat line enough to win. At bare minimum, right, you have to be 2 touchdowns and then whatever. 2-0, awesome. You're a superstar. 2-1, that's what's expected. 2-2, if you're kind of young. 2-3, but you have to make sure you get at least 2 passes in, because I feel that if you don't get that, and you're going against Patrick Mahomes on top of that. So, legacies are made, and again, path to the Super Bowl for them, just don't play the Chiefs. Simple as that. Don't play them. Play the Ravens. That's what we were supposed to get, right? That's how the NFL had it scripted, right? Ravens, Niners. That's what we said all year. Ravens, Niners, Ravens, Niners, Niners, Ravens, Niners, Ravens, Lamar, McCaffrey, Lamar. So it's like, that's what happens a lot too. We have this build up, and it can be good for a month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, and then we get fooled. But again, it's not a best of 7 like the other sports. You play bad for 1 quarter, a half, your season is over. You're done. Like, all that hard work that you did, and then it just so happens that the other team either played better, or you just didn't have a good quarter, and it was just like execution. And then all that hard work, all that good record, all the other teams that you beat, and then all of a sudden, a season over. That's what makes the NFL and like college ball for football. Like, there's so much on the line. It's you want to say every play matters, but it matters a lot more than people think. Matthew Stafford, Nick Foles, Brad Johnson, Tampa Bay, Trent Dilfer, Tampa Bay, but with the Ravens, Mark Rippon, 91, Redskins, Jeff Hostetler, Giants, Doug Williams, Redskins, Jim McMahon, Bears, Bill Sims, Giants. I'm pretty good with my bets. Like, I don't bet myself because I'm superstitious, but I honestly haven't got like a Super Bowl winner wrong in like 20, 21, 22 years. And the only one I got wrong is because I put my faith in the Eagle defense. And I thought, with Jalen playing as good as Pat, if the Eagle defense did anything similar to what they did, and just get a couple sacks, maybe get a pick or two, that could be enough for the Eagles to find a way to beat the Chiefs barely in that Super Bowl by like maybe 3. I didn't think it would be the Eagles by a blowout or anything, but I thought, Jalen played so good, that team played so good, but besides that, you don't bet against Mahomes as long as the trifecta is together. Some guys are just legends and goats, and you can play bad, for a little bit, or the defense can be really good. But again, like when I'm watching tape and I'm, calling a game, I knew the number one reason if they were going to end up winning that game, oh, bang, 1-1, damn it. Nice goal. Fuck. But I knew, at that point when you were out watching that game, you had to make sure that Pat was going to use his legs in the third and fourth quarter in overtime. And if he was able to do that, that was the X factor in the game, because every time they were running the football, you're not getting a whole lot of yardage. And if Pat is, throwing high, throwing low, pressure's all in his grill, they're handing it off to Pacheco, you're not really getting a whole lot. Eventually, you're going to have to run the RPO or a run design play for yourself. Or if you're in a shotgun, just take off, go. You're not the fastest guy, but you're not the slowest guy either, Mahomes. And sometimes extending those first downs, they end up becoming like splash plays. Momentum gets earned. Uncle Mo gets on the couch, and then all of a sudden you just feel it in your bones, like something good's going to happen. Like, when you watch the greats, you watch Jordan, you watch Kobe, you watch any of these guys when they're in their prime, you just feel like that big play or something. Like the anticipation's there. You don't know what it's going to be, but you know it's coming soon, and then the momentum hits, and then there's no stopping that type of player. You're done. 1-1. Kraken, Islanders. They said, enough of this shit. Enough of this. Kyle Palmieri, assistant man Matthew Barzal, and Noah Dobson. 1-1 Islanders. All right, I'll give them some love. All right. I mean, I'm always going to try to put people in the position to win. And then a lot of people did the prediction on the score. I didn't get it right, but sometimes I can get close. And what was it, 25-22 overtime? So I don't think many people picked overtime, but I know there are some people out there that did predict overtime or double overtime. Shout out to those people, because even though overtime isn't common, I feel that it will be more common moving forward, just the way that the NFL is. Not necessarily scripted, but just saying that overtime happening more frequently than just a couple times ever, I think is a very high possibility. But legacies are made with those star players. Incredible run. I'm gonna be sad. We're gonna have to wait a little while. 7 months for an NFL game. Come on. What's one thing? What's one thing that all those quarterbacks have in common for? Well, not all of them, but most of them, out of all the quarterbacks. Power play. Come on, baby. I just like it when the Kraken are in games, whether we win or we lose, but just to see like the effort on subtle things, just like the way they skate, how aggressive they are, how crisp the passing is. If the guys are kind of like sulking their shoulders, like little things like add up. And you can tell fatigue is hella real out there. Like mad respect for these guys being able to do this on the professional level. Fucking pure insanity. Yeah. Well, that has to be something that you have to know the rules. But even for people that think they know all the rules, I mean, all right, so back in the day, whoever scores first wins. Then if someone gets a field goal, you have to get a field goal, right? But someone gets a field goal, then you get a touchdown, you win the game. But what happens if the first team scores a touchdown and then you score a touchdown, right? And then obviously, if the Chiefs did that, they go for 2. They just try to end the Super Bowl there. Instead of just seeing like the team that scores a touchdown first wins and then the game is over. There's like, as far as overtime, and then it's not only overtime, but it's playoff overtime. Like if they're making specific rules for, playoff, like something different, or something that maybe people like, you got to get everybody on the same page. But situational coaching is everything too. And Shanahan is in the only coach to be in both overtime games. So if anyone should be coaching up on overtime, it's him. So he fucked up. He's one of my favorite coaches, but you got to call out something that, if you didn't do your job, even though I love him, I can't just give him a free pass for that. That's a big fuck up. You lost the Super Bowl, because if you end up knowing that, you can get a touchdown, and you don't need the ball first, why would you want it first? You want it last. You want to see if you can stop them first, and then have a game plan for your offense. Later. You don't want to be the first one, even if you're like uber confident in your abilities. It's strategy is everything. Just like in fantasy football and in life, strategy. You have to understand what you're dealing with. Cameron in the building. Let's go Islanders. 1-1 against the Kraken. And I think also, too, as us being a little bit older, we have to remember that even though, like, let's say, for example, like Troy Aikman, right? You look at Troy Aikman and he got the 3 Super Bowls, in 92, 93, and 95. But and we know he's like, oh my God, Troy Aikman, Michael Irvin, and Emmett, right? But if you look at like Aikman's numbers compared to a lot of the other GOATs, it's not as high as that you maybe would have thought when you were younger or like when you were a kid. Like you compare it to what some of the current guys have done, you're like, damn, I thought he was better than that. Like, you know what I mean? I feel like there's a lot of moments where people don't really know like statistics, like they haven't looked it up, and they just assume the people that they watch from when they were kids are still like the best, or they're better than they think they are. I mean, we got still modern day guys that are brilliant. So changing the game. Good save. End of the second period. We're knotted up at 1. All right. Let me know what you guys want to do for photos. And I got you. That's awesome. When's the last time you ended up going to a game? This season or last season? All right, what do we want to do for photos? We want where do we want to go? We want to do some like legend players from like back in the day. I don't need to just put up Kraken photos. We can do a little bit of both. Lauren helping out on the Twitter/X. Appreciate that. All right, I'm gonna do some. Let me do some like Wayne Gretzky or something. I feel like an old school vibe right now. Got an old school player you want to see? Type it in the chat. See what I can find. All the randoms. I'll throw some duck stuff up. That guy was good. I'll tell you what, though, every era is going to have a special player that defines a generation. You're not going to see too many elite players grouped together so much in those 20 years. Kind of good. He's good. And then when this trade happened, regardless of what age you were, like I think people, like when you get guys that get traded, it's like even if you're not watching hockey, like people started to pay attention a little bit more whenever you have something like a big name going to this team or that team. Go Wayne. Gretzky was almost traded to the Oilers to the Red Wings instead of the Kings. Could you imagine that? That would have been crazy. I gotta go get my drink real quick. I'll be right back. Be like a minute. Got a Snapple. Frozen. Oh my God, Mango Madness. Unbelievable. It's all about that Mango Madness. Oh, yeah. That's incredible. 1-1, Kraken, Islanders. We have a chance. We have a chance. We got to play great in this third period, baby. Go, Maddie. Hell, we might need you to score the second goal, but whoever gets it, I mean, it's kind of sweet if Maddie did get the second goal. Both of them. Like, look at me. Let's go, baby. Oh, Bo knows. That's cool. I want to be able to go to other ballparks other than Seattle. We are in intermission. 1-1 Kraken and Islanders. Matty Beniers. Grew in net. I think these are two things that we didn't anticipate. But again, sometimes you need something new. You need a fresh start, a spark. And maybe these will be the two guys that will lead us to victory. Let's go. I gotta find another Matty photo. Oh, Matty Beniers. I gotta go with one of my favorite Matty Beniers photos. Okay, baby. I need this Matty Beniers. Give me this. Then boom shakalaka. Towards Fenway, Old Yankee Stadium, and worse by far the Trop. And one thing about Seattle, the ballpark is it's beautiful. Like some places, like there is a vibe or an energy. So. Oh yeah. WWE is really on point right now. Like people are gonna bitch and moan, for not getting what they want, or what we think that we want to be able to see. It's kind of a mode right now where AEW needs a lot for them to catch up. Like they were doing pretty good for a while, but it's definitely shifted where WWE right now is where it's at, and it looks like moving forward, if Vince is out of the picture, and of course that story's not going to be over anytime soon either. But as long as the creative is good and and they can keep us on our toes, it'll never be as good as it was in the 80s and 90s. But it's pretty good now compared to what it was a few years ago. I think most people that are wrestling fans can do agree to that. That's big facts, baby. Seth freaking Rollins, baby. What you know about Seth Rollins? This is like Seth Rollins, like elite figures. When they came out, they're like the more expensive ones, and so like when the Shield stuff came out, it was like super popular, hard to get. I haven't seen people, try to get the collectibles, but they made that group perfect. Like we were looking for a faction, and if you really think about it, between Dean Ambrose, Jon Moxley, Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns, I mean, you could say that's the most talented trio based off accolades and belts all time. And, we thought Hogan, Hall, and Nash, was like the cream of the crop, but if you're actually looking at all three of these guys from the Shield, they've had more success overall. As the most accomplished trio. But I like the old Seth Rollins stuff, like the Shield, Roman Reigns, the Shield, Dean Ambrose, the Shield, Seth Rollins, like that Series 1, the first one. That's my bag right there. Yeah. Yeah, I just like just how things are built. So you get to kind of see the architecture and the kind of the ideas, each person and their creativity on how they want to be able to make themselves stand out, different than the other stadium, or the other, ballparks in the league and other places. But, a lot of stuff you can kind of see on TV, but it's not going to be like it unless you're like there. I'm a little jealous there, man. You've already gone to quite a few. Way more than me. Total shots to 17. Come on, Kraken. 18 hits to 17 hits. We're only one behind there. We just got to have a good third period here. Make sure you're taking care of your mental health. Come here. We'll give it a boost. Like that. King Griffey Jr., baby. Beautiful signature. Way to take your time and spell every letter in your name to make me love you as my hero type of figure besides the Faja. The Faja and King Griffey Jr. You're a legend. Thank you, King Griffey Jr. Oh, that's electric. Now I need electric third period, baby. I want to do some Mariner games and some Dodger games. Some Dodger games for my dad. Do some Mariner games for y'all. Kraken. We have to find a way. Third period. Let's go. Let's go. All right, let's look at the schedule for tomorrow. And then obviously we have the NBA All-Star Weekend this weekend, which we could do content with that. Daytona 500, that's an option that we can do. So we'll try to figure out what we're going to be doing NHL as well. Ooh, Lightning Bruins 2-2. Figured that would be close. Only 3 games tomorrow. Panthers, Penguins, Sharks, Jets, Wild, Coyotes. Sounds like a day off, or Panthers, Penguins for Sidney Crosby. Probably Sidney Crosby. And then Kraken and Bruins on Thursday at 4. We're doing that. Hurricanes, Coyotes on Friday as the only game. We might be doing that. Maybe not. Maybe take that day off. And then Saturday and Sunday, what do we have? Nothing for the Kraken on Saturday. That would mean more All-Star festivity stuff, probably. And then Sunday, no Kraken on Sunday either. Boo. Rangers, Islanders, Kings. Yeah, so we're probably not going to do hockey on the weekend. We'll do the maybe NBA All-Star festivities just because of the event that it is. Or Daytona 500. I mean, obviously, I love NASCAR, so I don't know. We'll see. We will see. Daytona 500, baby. NBA All-Star Weekend. Those are the things I'm thinking. Because even though we know that the NBA sometimes is hard to watch, if it's an all-star festivity of anything, when we're following sports on a daily basis, sometimes, it might not be the favorite thing, but there's not going to be anything better than that unless we're talking Daytona 500 or the NBA All-Star festivities. Those are going to be the poppin' things that are happening this weekend. And we'll probably be covering both, which would make sense. I would be personally more excited about Daytona 500 than most people, but again, I guess it depends if you like NASCAR or have a driver or a vibe, or you're more just basketball. Let's go, baby. Third period. All right, we're in the third period. Let's go. Music queued off. We're going to give the Islanders logo a little love. Not too much, though. Just a little bit. Come on, Kraken. All right, I need the Kraken to win, so we have to make it limited. So, okay, right back to the S. You only get it for that much. All right, man. Have a good rest of your night, brother. Any photos that you want if you come back, if I'm still here, you just let me know. All the photos, all the appreciation. Go on those walks. My legs hurt today. It was long. I got one more to do, and I'm already like 2 hours in. It's like even when you're doing it every single day, I mean, it still gets to a point where your feet hurt. Especially when you have an adventurous dog. An adventurous dog. $18 minutes left in the third period, knotted up at 1. I just want us to stay aggressive. I mean, it would be really cool if Maddie ended up getting the second goal and we went 2-1. That could be like a springboard win for the team. Doesn't mean that Maddie's going to do that all the time, but just to be able to have one of those games where it's like, okay, we drafted you for moments like this. Let's have a moment. But at this point, we'll take any goal we get from anybody. Hopefully 2 goals. And I am, even though I haven't been keeping up with it as much as I should have, but I will as we go in here in the next couple weeks. I am excited about March Madness, though. I think that, every year, there's going to bring a little bit of excitement. Most people don't watch during the regular season. People want to get in on their pools and their bets and their money and see some tourney-style excitement where you never know what could happen. Upset galore. Something on the line. That's always exciting when the games matter. So that'll be fun. We'll do that. I'm not sure how we'll end up doing that, but I wouldn't mind doing like a game or two, depending on where we are in the tourney. Like at least the college basketball championship. Like it's like even if you're like hating on basketball, which oh, man, it's really rough watching college hoops in the NBA, but I can still watch like NBA finals and like the championship. Like I don't want to miss out on history just because basketball is at a low point and it's not as good as the other sports. Like I still want to watch like the whoever is, good. Like let me see what you got, even if I'm not watching a lot of the stuff during the regular and the playoffs. Like I'll watch some, but it's not like I actually want to be engaged and have some kind of excitement. But I feel with the NBA, it's difficult. 1-1, Kraken, Islanders. 16 minutes to go in the third period. Let's go. Yeah. Well, for you, it's easy because you're in the place where it's the number one place for a female on planet Earth. You're in Caitlin Clark country. So, and if you're anyone that's a fan of that, and with the players that you're bringing in football, you might not be winning necessarily championships, but that's a good spot to, you know what I mean? But if you're not, in that particular area, unless you have some kind of vibe with a certain school, you know, it was a lot more common a few years back. I feel that if the product was better on both, it would have more popularity and more people would entertain watching the men's and the women's. But it's all how it's put together, marketing, and how good the players are, uh, and what we're talking about. I mean, yeah, if you're following sports, like Clark is giving you like Wemby, type of attention. So it's like as far as the college level and what the potential is, going into the pros. So if you know that that is potentially a franchise player and something special, could be one of the greats, you're going to pay attention. I've seen some autograph cards that she signed, through a card company that someone got out of a pack, box break and whatnot, and then sent it in and got it graded and whatnot. So I mean, some of her stuff is actually really expensive already because there's collectors already anticipating her being one of the goats. Like she's going to continue the success and be one of the possible top 5 players of all time when it's all said and done. Because some of the card prices are pretty insane. But the card market is, it's either you're in it or you're not. Some of the stuff's way too expensive. Expensive habit. Come on, Drew. Like I don't own any of the women cards or anything like that. But if I did have a Caitlin Clark autograph card that was like serial numbered to 50 and then had it graded, would I sell that shit? Hell no. Because you already know that thing is going to gain value. And then if she ends up turning into the best player of all time, then you might have like a insane gem, something that goes from, $200 to $500 to maybe, 4 or 5 thousand bucks. That's what could happen. You go from a $500 investment to maybe something that could be worth 5 to 10 grand. I mean, obviously, it has to be the right type of card and whatnot, but card market is wild. There's a lot of money there. Just like in gambling, people are gambling with the cards and the packs now. 14 minutes to go. It's like back in the day, the 80s and 90s, you could get a pack of cards for $1 to $5 and get 20 to 30 cards. Now, you don't get 30 cards. You get like 3 to 4 or like 8, depending on what you're like buying, or 10. It's like a low number. Sometimes it's very low. And then the packs cost a hell of a lot more. And they're like, oh, you're going to get an autograph or like a jersey patch. And then you get like the most rando name. Yeah, you got an autograph, but it's like the second string punter for the Bills. You're like, well, what? So I don't invest in that kind of money there. Yeah. Well, I thought the women's tourney, even though I don't really go out of my way to watch the NBA or the WNBA, or the college during the regular season, but when it's March Madness, yeah, I'll pay attention, for men's and women's. And I felt like the women's tourney, if you have superstars, It'll make it, just as exciting as the men's because if they haven't promoted any of the men players, no one really knows who to look for. But most people know that Clark is the biggest name in college sports right now, maybe even over some of the men. So if that's the case, then there's going to be a lot of eyeballs there just because you know that she might be the best college athlete right now. And it's you either recognize that or you don't, right? So you either recognize the talent or you don't. Let's go. All right, 1-1 Seattle, New York, 21, 21, and 10. Golly. New York Islanders, 22, 18, and 12. Ohana, Moana, 1 and 2. Aren't they doing they're doing a second one. Oregon Ducks, they know all about Ohana. We got a lot of Hawaiian, Polynesian, Samoan players. Like when we ended up doing that one jersey combo, that definitely is one of the best of all time. They put their time and energy into that jersey scheme. All right, baby. 13 minutes ago in the third period, Kraken Islanders knotted up at one. Come on, baby. I don't care who it is. Maddie Benitez. Bro, baby. Come on. Get in the DeLorean. Get in. Let's go. Come on, Maddie. Let's go. Come on now. Got to find a way. I don't care if we win 2-1 after getting this beat the hell up. When you get beat the hell up the night before, you don't want that to happen. It sucks, man. When you just know that you play in a matchup and the game is over after the first period. And you know it. And I think everyone knows it. And it's like some games you know you have a chance and you're gonna come back. And sometimes you can get lucky. But also too, as fans, you can also recognize what you're watching on screen where if you think the effort is not gonna get any better for the second or third or overtime or whatever, then that typically sucks. Because then you're just sitting there fucking watching shit hockey for an hour or two, hoping that the next game is better, which it has been. I think it's just simple things, gratitude, and like for me, I think it's just realizing that Paisley, as my pup, for every one day is a week for her life. Every one day is like a week. So it's like I want to make sure I'm packing in as much time, with her outside, inside, and just that appreciation. And it's great. It's definitely made me appreciate the outdoors and outside even more, which made me I feel a better human to have that appreciation and get that back to like kind of the roots of how I was when I was a kid. And both of us overweight and then lost weight. So it not only did it improve my mental health and my bond, but we both, there's many benefits to it all. But like, just being out in nature, and I already can tell like how it affects me because it's like when I go outside or like when I come inside and I'm not doing sports and something on like Discovery or History or Nat Geo shows something on the snow, in like Alaska or somewhere or water. And like I'm just so in a good mood at that point. It's like it's always about like water and that energy and that outdoorsy vibe and also like the snow vibe. I don't know, it's like very healing for my soul, like in person to have it, but also when I see it on screen. I can't describe the feeling. It's like everyone's got their own like favorite TV shows and movies, but sometimes you can watch something and then it just makes your mood a little bit better. Or when I'm watching like Blue Planet, and then you got like David Attenborough, with his accent, and he's talking about like underwater life or sharks or like dolphins or penguins, and then you have like that documentary, and then they have like the stretch of videos that go like an hour at a time. Like I like stuff like that. The simple things. Paisley will pay attention. Yeah. But that's how I try to live. I, just try to help people. But if I can give maximum effort, and understand like what kind of difference it can make, that's what it's about. Most dogs are not going to be able to get the most out of their short life. Simple stuff. If you're in a vehicle, roll the window down and let them stick their head out as long as they don't jump out. You know, you can't recreate that feeling with the wind in their face and going in their nose and that feeling. It's like you're either are aware of people and like your pets and people around you, and what needs to be done, and if you can recognize those like little things that can bring joy, then the relationship gets even better. You don't got to worry about pets acting out and getting all crazy if you get them enough attention and exercise and the simple things. Stick your head out the window, get some air. You never see a dog with its head out the window pissed off. I'll tell you that right now. They're living their best life. 1-1 Kraken Islanders. 11 minutes to go in the third period. Let's fucking go, Kraken. Let's go. Matt Baden is back from taking a dump. No, I don't know. You probably are getting food or something. We're still knotted up at 1. 10 minutes to go in the third period. Getting some air, baby. And even though the NBA sometimes sucks ass, I do enjoy the NBA festivities to a certain degree. Do they ever have the best players in the dunk contest? And they always keep modifying these like little mini things, like just keep the history the same. But with that being said, you know, have I ever really missed an All Star thing? No. I mean, I can still complain about it a little bit, but hopefully it ends up being good. But I am excited about Daytona. That'll be amazing. You're never going to have a shitty Daytona 500 unless it gets rained out. All right, half the third period off the board. Come on, Seattle. I've been watching Workaholics on Comedy Central from season 1, episode 1, with Blake and Anders and Adam Dumamp, and it's amazing. I'm always going to have to go through shows that, like a True Blood type of show or like Game of Thrones, but sometimes I'll go for like the funny or something I haven't seen in a while. Really good. Because like when you watch Workaholics and if it just binges and goes to the next episode, I mean, you can watch that for hours. I mean, especially when they were half-hour episodes. So, yeah, very easy. Like I didn't even mean to watch it for that long. Like, I think I'm already on like season 3. Like I just had it going and going as I'm like reading or doing research or like in the background, but I'm paying attention. Oh man, that mango madness, baby. Daytona 500. You got a prediction for Daytona 500, Sarah, for winner? And I wonder if Chase Elliott will ever be Chase Elliott. Like, is he going to get back to being great, or is it going to take a while, for him to get there? Like, is he going to get back to being who he was, or does he have a little bit of a slump for, this year or next year, or is he ever going to be the same? Was that just a bump in the road, and we might end up having a brand new champion that's never won? It's possible. Jalen Brunson. Wow. So many graded cards. Islanders. This guy is just showing his hockey card collection of it, graded, non-graded. Amazing. Holy shit. This is like, wow. That's like a millionaire right there. Like when you see like $1 million on a table, but it's all like graded cards of this amazing stuff of your favorite team. Golly. If that was me though, that'd be like all like grippy. Ichiro, Randy Johnson, Edgar Martinez, Julio. I like it, man. It gives me a vibe and energy. It's not football, but at least it gives me consistency on that day to keep my routine going, to have something to look forward to on that particular day. Instead of football, it's going to be racing with cars and going to the different venues, and you just have to keep up with the venues, and it definitely makes it funner if you know everyone that's participating. If you don't know all the names of the drivers, then it's not going to be interesting. But if you know everybody, then the more you know, the more interest you'll have. That's with anything. But I think the way that they do the broadcasting for it's cool, man. Like it's a vibe. I enjoy it, regardless if it's Dale Jr. If they do it on NBC or Fox. I mean, as long as I have that in my life as an alternative, since we're not in football season anymore, at least it gives me something to watch. That's not hockey, and then it's not baseball, something else. 7 minutes to go. Come on, baby. 7 minutes to go. Come on, baby. Gosh, it's so neck and neck here. Could go either way. Really awesome for Grew to play this well. It's like you haven't played since December and you only gave up a goal. Like incredible. And we got one, so at least it's like not 1-0 we're down. Like we actually have a chance to win this game, rebounding from a terrible loss yesterday to the Devils. So come on, Kraken. Come on, baby. Third period, it's 1-1. You have a chance. Got to find a way to win these games on the road. I don't give a shit if it's 2-1. Make it happen. 2-1 is a victory. I don't want it to go to OT. If it goes to OT, we'll probably lose. just based on like history and how we played in games this season. It's you got to get it done in the. You have to find a way to score here. A lot of similarities with the Kraken and the Mariners. Sometimes you'll get a good performance with the pitching or with the goalie, and other times you won't. And it's always nice when you can get it from both areas on the team. But these ones are 5 minutes to go. Knotted up at one. Come on now. Passing has been pretty crisp. There hasn't been any really big fights. But there has been aggressive play, but it's been a pretty clean game, a fast-paced game. Lots of energy for Seattle. Can we get a power play possibly? And we got to get a good combination with the line changes that we have here late. 5 minutes to go. Come on now. 4 minutes to go. Ooh. Get that rebound. Come on, Seattle. You got to be in good position there. You can't have one guy shoot and then everyone is like spread out. You got to have at least another guy next to the goalie to pick up the rebound. At least give. Oh, big hit. Jesus Christ. Oh, my God. One of the Kraken players just lost his everything. My goodness. That was like an old school 80s football hit when you see a guy get decleated. That's exactly what happened. Oh, good defense. Come on now. All right, here we go. Here we go. 3 minutes to go. Oh, this is close. Come on. Come on, Seattle. Seattle's been the more aggressive team this game, and we're firing off a lot of shots. Just a lot of them right now are wide left. Get it in there. And a lot of times we're not having a chance after the rebound, but it's like a lot of shots, but they're kind of from far away. And it'd be nice to be able to set someone up with a nice pass, and then you get like a one-timer or when you can. But that scenario, doesn't happen as often as people think. I guess unless you're playing a shitty team. Come on. This is a game we need to win. We can't afford to lose. And let's give Gru a win for his first game and his heroics in this game for only giving up one goal. And someone's got to compliment Maddie. Maddie never scores. He got the first one. It's either Maddie again, be the hero, have that statement game, or anybody. We don't care. And we'll be fine with a 2-1 win. But we don't want this to go to overtime, because if it does, we will probably lose 2-1. Not saying 100%. We could win in overtime, but I'm not sure. History is really same thing with like Mariners. Like, you either know your team, and yes, you can sometimes fight the adversity, but sometimes it's like if you can't get it done in that certain period of time, some teams can find a way, and sometimes opportunities slip away. I don't want it to slip away. I want them to get it here, and the game has gone so fast. That's what happens when the game is good, where you're going through the game and it's just like, wow, this is like going very, very fast. But like yesterday, when they put up 3 goals in like first period, that like a 2 hour and 30-minute, or 3 hour stream, it feels like 5, because it's like you already know the game is over and they're playing like shit. So I'm so happy that didn't happen. So let's not play with the mentals, and let's get the dub. Okay. Yes. Yes. Yeah. Go. Bowie likes it. Come on, baby. I mean, right. I mean, these are the type of games that you cannot lose as a Kraken fan or a Mariners fan. Like, you understand, like, when games get close, sometimes when our teams are good that season, we come up big in these big games. But if it's just like a regular type of year for both teams, who knows? Sometimes we will be on the losing end, and I don't like being on the losing end and shit when we're close. Those are the worst. It's one thing to get your ass kicked and you know that the game is over, like yesterday with the Devils 3-1. I already knew that game was over in the first period. This game felt like a winnable game. Gru's only given up one. Let's get the win for him. Let's get it for Hack. Let's get it for the team. Most people say, it doesn't matter. It does when your team's at like 500 and doesn't look like you're going to make the playoffs. I mean, if you're playing someone kind of close to what you got as a record, you don't want to lose a game to them. Come on, Seattle, please have a hero today. Oh, another save. They are firing them off, though, so I can't say that Seattle isn't trying. This is the most effort that we've seen in a game in a few games. It's just that the shots are a little wild, but they are firing them off with many different players with the shots, which I like, but just far away, a little wild, gotta set it up. But I do like the aggressiveness rather than just getting our ass kicked the whole game. That's not fun. 9 third period shots on goal for 4. So they bang, 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 just firing them off. But now we got to get a little bit more strategy here. Come on, baby. Play good defense. And that's another thing too. Grew has been lights out. The defense has been re-energized, and defense has played better with him in the net. It has, you know, not just who we're playing, but little subtle things like adjustments to a lineup can re-energize a team and give a team a boost. Not all of them are going to be Phillips' best friend on the team, but again, sometimes when you're in a slump, you need a change and what a better way to do that than get a new goalie in there and one that will used to be our starter. Oh, Schultz wide. Come on, please. Oh, this is crazy. 1 minute to go. Oh my. I've seen this scenario with the Mariners like a million times. Kraken a couple times, and I assume that we'll have it quite a few in our future. But please, we got to find a way to win this. We go to OT. Let's win in OT then. If that's the way it's going to be, and it's going to be OT, then we win in OT. Oh, minute to go. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Less than a minute to go. 25 seconds to go. Please, please, please. Come on. Definitely had a overtime kind of vibe, especially when you got it to 1-1. Some games are going to be high scoring, and some are going to be just 1 or 2 goals, and that's all you're going to get. Fucking A. Barzell is incredible. Oh, and especially if you have good players to end up trying to get a key steal, late in the game. I mean, that can end up turning out an outcome as well. Intercepting a pass in the lane and then being able to get a pass off to a teammate to try to get a shot. A lot of times when that situation happens, they get a score. That's any team if you can find a way to catch the goalie slipping for just that 1 second. 11 seconds to go. My gosh. Is this happening? Overtime. Oh, the end of the third period. Come on, Gru. That classic. Oh, baby, let's get this win. Kraken, let's go, let's go, let's go, baby. Wow. He just grabs it midair. He's like, let me just. That's even not even necessary. Like it's there, like in the region, but you can let it like go over your head. You're just like, no, let me just grab that with the mitt. Okay, let me get it with the glove. Let me go ahead. Let me get that. 11 seconds to go in the third period. Not enough at one. Overtime, baby. All right, let's win in overtime. Let's not lose. 2-1. Let's win 2-1, please. Come on. That's good for our mental health. Let's do this. We got obliterated last game. It's gonna win, huh? It's gonna win. Man, I mean, these are games that we'll remember for the season if we end up winning them. Let's be electric. Maddie got a goal. We can't let Maddie down either. I mean, we got something that we never have happen with two people. Let's not end the night on a loss. Let's take advantage of this moment and make it a win and a great one and a springboard win. Boom. Gru is back. We got two goalies now. We can flip flop whenever we want, and then Maddie getting a goal. We don't want that to go to waste. It's not like Maddie gets goals every game. I got to go on a walk. I got to go on a walk. Yeah, me and Paisley definitely going for a walk after this one. I saw that all the days. 17 days until the combine, 34 free agency, 41 for the league meeting, off-season workouts 53, draft 73, uh, uh, rookie minicamp 81, 2012 for season 206. That's a long time. That is a lot of days. All right, come on now. Go Kraken. Let's not be like the Mariners. If you're a Pacific Northwest fan, which some of us that are watching on Twitter/X or in the room, you understand. It's hard being a Pacific Northwest fan of any team in Oregon or Washington because when we're good, we're damn good. And a lot of times when we're really, really good, we might win a championship. But again, there's also going to be years where it's going to be a lot of heartache. It's not like we're going to be like some of these other teams in other regions in the country that have that more consistency, or money, or team building. It's tough sometimes, but we got to find a way to win these. Big shot right out of the gate. Come on, baby. Overtime. Come on. Please. Please. Come on, Bjorky. Come on, Bjorky. Be a hero, Bjorky. I need a hero. Shit. Defense. What a fucking save. Are you fucking kidding me? You know who fucking saved that? That save was fucking money. Fucking money right there. What a save. Could have been game over. Could have been game over. Nice job. That was an electric save. Best save of the game right there. Could have been the game ender. Woo! Woo! Nice job, Philip. I'm going to buy that guy some dinner. Come on. Yeah, and plus, when Seattle's defense is on point, the whole outlook of the game is a complete 360. It's like that's always going to be a staple of teams. Like you've got to be able to bring the defense. Sometimes the offense won't be there, but as long as you can bring the defense, you can always rely on that. Sometimes offenses will come and go. We know that. You never want that defense to just disappear for a long stretch. Please, let's go. Knotted up at 1. 3 minutes to go in overtime. Please, Kraken. Good defense by Seattle today. Yeah, but the Islanders don't have Jack Hughes. So again, if Jack Hughes is playing, we're not at 1-1. Oh, come on. Oh, Maddie. 2:30 left in overtime. 1-1. Oh my. 3 minutes. Oh, shoot up. Shoot up. Shoot off. Now I got to watch Superbad again. McLovin. Come on now. This is crazy. Please. This would be a really good emotional win. McCann, come on. And we got to be able to have like a rebound attempt. Like if we don't get that first shot, can we get it off a rebound? That might be the way we win. Oh God. Oh God. Yeah. Gotta watch out for Barzell. Barzell good. Off the glass. My gosh. This is like very nerve-wracking based off the blowout yesterday. Feels like Islanders have a little momentum, but nothing that we can't overcome if we just get a good opportunity. Like sometimes when you go to overtime, you're like, "Oh fuck, we lost." But like this one feels like we can win this. We should win this. You can't have group play his first game in months and then he only gives up one and we lose. Bullshit. You got to give me more. And it's like Mariners. Guy gets a no hitter, and then all of a sudden you can't even get one run. Bullshit. It's like we're not asking for fucking 5. We're asking for 2. Come on, sports gods. Come on, baby. Let's go. All right, here's our opportunity. Let's go, Bowie. Fucking A. Come on. Let's go. Make it happen. Come on, Maddie. Come on, Bjorky. You can do it. Come on. Overtime, 1-1. Got embarrassed. 3-1 Devils. I ask you too much. Islanders, see, you get your logo. We'll give you love, but only just a little bit because we need this win more. But the simple fact in the matchup, you go in, first game in months, you only give up one. We can't lose that way. Unacceptable. This is the emotion that I want after the win. Let's go. Less than 2 minutes to go. Less than a minute to go. Power play for Seattle. Shit. Oh, I wonder how many people had money on this. This is definitely a matchup, even with the bad loss. I know people probably took Kraken. Or maybe you went against them because they just got obliterated yesterday, just thinking that they would get obliterated again today on the road. Dunn, McCann, to Dunn, Yorkie. Wow. Great defense there. Well, Bjorky tried when you got a shot in the zone, but you got a couple of defenders in front of you. Tough to get a kind of a lane. 31 seconds left in OT. Schwartz, why? My God. 3-on-3? Is that what we're doing? What the hell is going on here? 30 seconds. Can we get this done, please? 10 seconds to go. Who's going to be a hero today? Who woke up today and wanted to be a hero, huh? Yeah, look at the Islanders. 36 face-offs and won. We only won 17. We suck. Jesus. End of overtime. Shoot up. Shoot up. Shoot up. Wow, this is crazy. Shoot up. Shoot up. Oh, man, this is going to be crazy. I don't want to lose this way. I don't want to lose this way. I mean, they better come out swinging like Seth Rollins in the Shield. Okay, let's go. Opportunity is there. Islanders, yeah, I'll give you your puck. I'll give you your swag. Okay, we're giving you some love, not hating. Come on, Kraken. What do you think? What do you think, Chris? We got this? Can we find a way to defend the deep, release the Kraken with Bowie? What you think, Chris? Need this shit. Come on, baby. Defend the deep. Release the fucking Kraken. Shoot out. Shoot off. Come on, Kraken. We got to give them the fucking Hollywood Hogan boot. Pa-pa! Islanders, Kurt Angle, you, brother. Oh, this is going to be heartbreaking if we lose. Come on, baby. Be electric. Let's fucking go, baby. Matty Beniers never scores a goal. Scored one today. Philip Grubauer hasn't played in months. Played today. Only gave up one goal. We can't fucking lose. Be a hero. Maybe you. Maybe you. Fucking go. Oh, shit. This is nerve wracking. Why is it got to be like this? Always got to be like this. Maddie. Maddie. I want Maddie to be dominant. I think every Kraken fan wants him to be so dominant, but we're not getting like the dominant Michigan Maddie Beniers because it takes time. Not everyone's going to be a fucking Nathan McKinnon, but we want him to be Nathan McKinnon type. Or we'll have to get a Nathan McKinnon for our own to pair up with him. Well, grew with some good defense. I'm so impressed with him. Hasn't played since like December. What was it, 9th? Is that what they said? No, since early to mid December, 9th to 13th, somewhere in that range. I think they said 9th on the graphic. Tata, come on, baby. Fuck. Yes. Woo! Tata, let's go. Yes. Fucking go. Are you kidding me? Let's go, baby. Yes, let's go. And that's how you win a game. Oh, baby. That's good for my fucking mental health, baby. 2-1. Overtime shootout win by the Kraken. Shootout. Let's go. Hell yeah. Good job, Hack. Good job, Guru. You only give up one. You can't not. And Maddie got a goal. Let's go. Let's go. That was an awesome game. This is going to be a game that we're going to remember. It wasn't the best game all year. Hell no. But sometimes those stressful games that when we come out on the winning end, we'll remember that. Like, remember that first game back for Gru? Remember when Maddie got that first goal? Like, subtle little things like that. It may not be like the biggest moment in the season, but that doesn't mean it can't be a transcending moment to give us some Uncle Mo and momentum to help us win some more fucking games here in the back end of the season. Nice job, dude. You get an A plus, like not just an A, like A plus plus. Like that was brilliant. I mean, like you've done a great job, but it also has been tough lately. So nice to be able to have options like we did before. And what a way to get on the board, Maddie Benitez. And a way to win it. Tomas Tata, plenty of Tata sauce for your ass. 2-1 Kraken. Yes. Okay. Shoot up. Shoot off. Man, that was sweet. So sometimes, we can go into the matchup and we were thinking, gosh, man, if this is going to be like that devil game, this is going to suck, right? It's like they're just going to do the same thing that the fucking Devils did, but we were like, Crew is in? Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Maybe this could be a little bit better and we can beat them. And guess what? We did. Let's go. Release the Kraken. Defend the deep. Drop the anchor. Bowie's out. He fucking loves it. Go Kraken. Defend the deep. Release the Kraken. Fuck yeah. Let's go. Awesome. 2-1 final in a shootout. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Heck yeah. Well, I'm going to go do my exercise thing. Let me take a quick look, and I have to eat as well. Spend some time with Paisley. Let's take a quick look just to see what we got tomorrow. So for tomorrow, let's look. All right, only 3 games. So we got Panthers, Penguins on TNT, Sharks, Jets, Wild, and Coyotes. So Panthers, Penguins for Sidney Crosby. So that'll be at 4:30 on TNT. So that's the game that we're going to do for Sidney Crosby. So I'm excited for that. Hopefully, I'm looking at the injury report. I don't want to see his name on there. I don't see it. All right, so that's what we're doing. Tomorrow, Penguins, Panthers, Pittsburgh, Florida, 4:30 TNT broadcast. Let's do that. Well, we found a way to win. It wasn't the prettiest, but we found a way. Shout out to all the people watching on Twitter/X, as well as the people watching in the room. Release the Kraken, defend the deep. GG to the Islanders. Hope they have a good rest of their season, but that was a good win, a win that we needed desperately. And I will be back tomorrow for the matchup. The Penguins versus the Panthers. 4:30 Pacific. Love you guys, and I appreciate you guys very much. And I got one question for you. Talk sports like us. Your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, 2-1 Kraken, victory in overtime in a shootout. I love it, and I'm out. Gang.